What's up? What's up? We are back. So I told you guys on the live stream earlier, I was going to do a dedicated Tesla video. So we got Mike on here because he's also in the group and he does his buy targets. We've hit a couple of those. We're going to talk about where he's buying, how I'm buying, ultimately why I'm better and why mine is just better. But good. How excited are you that Tesla's at these levels so far?
I'm liking
Excited
it.
or you
I
like
am
it?
excited. I'm excited. I've bought a couple days in a row. I bought some yesterday at two. Was it yesterday at two
Yesterday, I think.
65,
Yeah,
and then today at 250. No,
150.
165, and then 155 today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Does it have that turning point? Because I feel like there's so many conversations that start with like, "Oh, I really like it, I really like it," and then then it just does like the just the edge of the cliff things. You're like, "Don't like it." is
As
is
in, as
there
in, as in, did the thesis change on Tesla?
so is it a thesis thing? And I've never actually asked you this. Is it a price thing? Let's say, is there a price? Because people will say like, "Oh, I would buy Tesla at $30." Me personally, if it's at 30, I'm gonna assume something else drastically happened, and Elon's not here anymore, or something like that. It's like, is there a
Yeah.
price where you would just say that that's too cheap and it's probably for a reason?
Well, it wouldn't be a specific price. It would be, like you said, something that has changed.
Okay.
They have changed their total direction on, let's say that they quit investing in the robotaxi
Hmm.
or their charging stations. That means my thesis has changed on the company itself, which means that's when I'd have to reevaluate and see if I actually want to continue holding this or buying more of it.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at. Because either way, I mean, I could say I probably would be buying it $30, but I would have later a reason as to why.
And yeah, and let's take it the other way. Let's say we have another black swan event like February or March of 2020,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
Tesla
everything
got
stays
down
the
to
same, but
and,
we're
and, Tes-
melting down.
and Tesla got to $30. Man, I would be all in. I'd be like going to the pawn shop, selling everything I've got.
Okay, so the story stays the same. It hits $30. What if it hits 15?
I'm in. I mean,
Okay.
again, it's about the thesis of where it's going. Um, I mean, if the Black Swan event is something to the effect of it's uh, a cataclysmic Earth event, then it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, true. I what's funny is I watched 2012 today. And
Okay.
just so you say that just reminded me of that. And you know what? That's actually a lot better movie than I remember it being. Did you ever
Is that the
watch
one,
2012?
is that the one with John Cusack?
Yeah, End of the World,
Yeah, yeah,
Mayans.
yeah.
I didn't realize how much thought they put into that. I don't remember there being a 2009 we discovered this, started to planet kind of thing. They're blowing up the mountains to create the dam for the arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while
Re-
since I've seen it. I haven't seen it for a
yeah,
while.
much better than I thought it was. And I don't know why we're going on this, but just that just reminded me of it. That would suck so bad.
Well, yeah, true. But yeah, like if something like that were to happen, I'm
Mhm.
not really gonna be buying anything. I'm gonna be, running out to the mountain somewhere trying to figure out how to live. But
Yeah.
it's all about the thesis, and right now, T, Tesla's thesis hasn't changed. So I'm still in, regardless of what the price is.
Well, for the record, in that movie, it was Africa that never flooded. So you might head to the mountains in Africa. I, I don't know why I want to ask that, but like, where would you go? Would you go to Africa?
Probably Colorado.
That's what I think. I feel like I'd be good on top of a mountain, but they engulfed mountains. That tidal wave was 27,000 feet in the air because they almost ran to the peak of Mount Everest. Anyway, I'll quit derailing it now. This is why ADHD is so awesome. All right, so let me bring up let's bring up your sheet a little bit. So here's your snapshot. We've gone over this before. Here's the health score is 139. The disruptor score, this one has a 75 with a company health score of 64. Um, Total expected income, you're thinking 28.62%. Is this a good income stock for everyone that's new to that? We sell options against this. That was my joke in the beginning of why my play is better. Um, all jokes aside, every 100 shares, there's some kind of rent being collected.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike does the same thing. Okay, so the 2030 price prediction 6,100. That's all AI aligned,
Mm-hmm.
and then just conservative 893. Now, just to so everyone does know, these green boxes over here, they will be green. This is I pulled an older screenshot just for this clip, but as it hits this price target, these light up green. So today was your 153.64 is your buy target number 4. Today you bought at 155. We were close enough.
Yeah, 155 was close enough, and
Mhm.
because it was still 155, I still only bought the times three, so three is a multiple of 3 shares.
Okay, so that's actually how many you buy of each.
Yeah, and it's a multiple, right? It could be 1 or 2, but then the next one would be 2 or 6.
Okay.
So
Okay. Oh, that's cool. I didn't really get that. I thought it was just buy target 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's how you keep your average down. It starts to gradually really build up as it comes down.
yeah, so let's just take it. If you're buying one at a time, at 236 you would buy one, at 200 you would buy 2 shares, 177 you would buy 3, and that's what
Okay.
it's really geared to weighting it at
Right.
a lower with a lower price.
Okay. I like that it gets kind of exponential like that. So about
Mhm.
30, you'd probably be buying 300 shares in
I
a
mean,
day.
if you can afford it, sure, right?
Okay. I like it. I like that as a plan. How you still feeling about the 61,008, the 893? Break these two down. What's 'Cause there's been a lot of news lately with this situation.
So interesting enough, I read some news today that uh, a few things. One, there are some layoffs at at Tesla,
Mhm.
engineers, and some other folks that really weren't part of
Their
the
time.
huh.
It's an engineer. You can just say worthless.
Well, what I did read about in the article was that he's focusing more on the robotaxi.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, it also said some of the engineers that were cut were on that, was it the Model 2?
Mhm.
So what's funny is that Reuters was actually kind of right whenever they said, he's kind of killing the Model 2.
Well, they so I heard something else on that. And by the way, if you're an engineer, I'm 100% just kidding. Um, but so they said the Reuters insider, I guess, said they're halting a vehicle, canceling it. And did you hear the rumor that it's actually the Cybertruck to focus on the Model 2?
Oh, really? Okay. I
That
mean,
that was the next rumor I heard. And now I have zero idea, so let me just put that out there. But I thought that would be pretty bullish though, because they're making what 10 Cybertrucks. It's I've seen pictures of them. I still haven't even seen one yet. But if they were to halt that, my knee jerk reaction was, "Oh crap! Like we're shutting down. Like we don't need to be going backwards." But if it was to full fledged just start stamping out these Model 2s, I think that would be I think that'd be pretty bullish.
it would be.
A bullish
And
reaction, I'll say at least.
yeah, and ultimately, I think you and I agree is that while this may be a short-term bullish reaction, it could be if that was true. Ultimately, I don't care about the cars, almost zero about the car itself, because the
That's fine.
robotaxi and the AI is where the future is going to be.
Yeah, I honestly don't even care about a Model 2.
I
Uh,
don't either. I
I
could
think
care
that
less.
makes investors happy, but if you had an over-the-air update for a robo taxi, and you could just say with confidence, give us some limitations. If your battery is at 80% or something, you could put your car in taxi mode while you're doing your 8-hour shift at work, and it just leaves the parking lot and goes, takes people, and comes back and picks you up, and you have your car again. I heard the joke in the chat was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it back. There's gonna be glitter and it was glitter and something else all over the place." I was like, "Yeah, it'll be fun." But you would already have how many millions of cars out there just ready to jump in. They're already fully functional. They just need the over-the-air update, and you could charge because like Uber has it. They have the you can get a ride, or you can get like a premium ride or something, or if you have a luxury car or a bigger car. So what if I don't want to ride in a Model 3? What if I just want a Model S? Then a Model S comes and picks you up, or a Model X, you get to charge a little bit more.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Well,
think you could easily never create the Model 2.
I'm looking forward to the day when they're producing their own cars specifically for their own robotaxi service, and
Yeah.
not even with the allowing. Yes, they'll allow people to do that,
hmm
but they're going to be in competition directly with Tesla, who's going to be pumping out their own cars for their own service, like,
And just sending it out when it's done.
and just send, like, it's going to go right off the factory floor, right out to wherever it's going to start picking people up.
Yeah. It's going to start daisy chaining down. I guess you'd have to have wireless charging or something involved. I say, because essentially at that point, this is way in the future, pulls up to a wireless charger, charges. You could send it from California to Missouri, just daisy chain the charging stations along the way. You wouldn't even need a hauler for it. And then
He
here
could
it
have
is, picking me up.
he could have a wireless charging station, or one of his robots, one of his
Oh
Optimus,
yeah, out there just plugging it in.
at a charging station, just sitting there going bloop bloop the whole
Probably not
time.
going to work. I'm going to steal that robot. So I'm going to jailbreak it for my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got one. And here's how I was one of the first. It's going to be the coolest YouTube video out there, too, before I go to jail. But I was actually thinking about this the other day of how would they implement that? Because I thought about it. I was like, I will go buy 100 Teslas right now and just leave them on the street. Like, yeah, just come home when you need to charge, and like, here's my card, don't spend it all when you need to charge somewhere. Like, that would be a cakewalk, I think.
Mhm.
Um, but I think because I started thinking, like, why wouldn't Elon just do that himself? I think insurance wise, it would be cheaper to work the bugs out and let somebody else manage that fleet. Not to pawn it off on somebody else, but more their local area, more let them be it. Otherwise, you would have to manage anything you'd have to dedicate a whole team to that. So I think selling the cars, collecting that money up front, let them use the tool. But once you have that data out there, then I do think they quit selling the fleets. It'll be a
Yeah.
Model 2.5, and it'll just be we're just making them.
Yeah, I mean, because right now the people who are buying Teslas, they are the betas. They are the ones testing this out for their future model business, which is
Yeah,
robotaxi, Optimus, and charging stations. I mean, that's really it.
yeah. Back to that. There's that beta word, the beta phase for AI. When those robots start going to work, I'm telling you, people just laugh when I say it. I'm like, you can laugh all you want, but you're training your replacement.
Yeah,
In end of story, end of discussion.
pretty much. But yeah, so
Okay,
I'm loving this price dip right now. I mean, like 2 days in a row I've been buying shares.
now you got two spectrums up, 893, 6100. What's your gut telling you that's a 2030 price?
I'm guessing it'll be
Ballpark it. Throw some darts. What would you think?
I'm guessing it'll be right in the middle. It'll be right about 3,000, 3,500,
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
I can see that. Maybe.
I
I
mean,
don't
if
know.
Optimus, let me put it this way: the sooner Optimus or Robotaxi is released,
Mhm.
that number goes up. The longer those two things take to get put out in production,
Mhm.
that number comes down.
I know we're about to announce the Robotaxi on August 8th. I still bet Optimus beats it.
I do too, because I think from what I read, they never actually said the service. He just said the car is coming out.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that it's actually going to be rolling around. I think that's coming later.
That's gonna be coming a lot later because he doesn't play the politician game. That's gonna be
Yeah.
the biggest hangup. I still think we're gonna see It'll be Mercedes. I think did GM shut theirs down officially, or are they just taking a pause, a little breather?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mercedes already has a green light in certain areas. It's very
Yeah.
very cherry picked,
Yeah.
and I have a hard time believing it's cool that they're working with NVIDIA. I just have a hard time believing that they have any kind of edge on Tesla. To my core, I think it's a politician being paid kind of game. Like
what's what Waymo's in what two areas now, and they're opening up 2 or 3 others.
Yeah.
I mean, Tesla's going to have to do the same thing, right? They're going to have to go through individual cities and get approved, and then kind of roll it out that way.
I do. So do you think it's smarter that he waits for everyone else? There's really no first mover advantage. If they can pay the politicians, because what's your argument for Waymo can be here, Mercedes can, but Tesla can't? With better tech?
Yeah, I just don't know.
Maybe save some money and still just gets to say F off to the politicians.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the plan is, but it'll come.
I think the endless spiral, when Optimus is making more Optimus, done. And then when does Optimus start mining the materials and gets rid of that little
kid? Pretty soon.
That's over with. Because you could have those bots down there just going to town digging in mines. Yeah. There's no oxygen to worry about. If it collapses, they might be able to dig themselves out, or they're just sucks. Like no one died.
It's just an expense at that point.
Yeah, Tesla can afford to keep the lights on. But then they make their own materials. Did they make themselves? Then they become self-aware. We find out they've been like stashing an army off to the side.
In one of the mines that they've dug out.
We thought that mine collapsed. That was really just them shutting the door. Okay, I think we're down here. Start making the other one. Then Ultron shows up. That's how AI takes over.
Oh my God.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about your plays versus mine, I guess, just to go over it. Okay, sure. So you bought 165. Okay, breaking that zone yesterday, and then today 155. Mm-hmm. Nailed the actual bottom of that. How fast do you think we drop to that next zone? There's a spot in the middle, by the way.
When's earnings?
Next week.
Is it next week?
I want to say it is. The 23rd. Yeah, next week.
I have a feeling that there's going to be some excuse, and it's going to drop pretty quickly.
What? I don't know. First of all, wouldn't be surprised at that. But I got to say, the beatdown Tesla's already had just from here to here, and just more like just not taking a break. There's been an onslaught of just bad news. What are they going to come out and say that we haven't already heard or think is coming?
I'm wondering if I wonder if their earnings per share is not going to be as good as people are expecting.
How do you mess that up? We know what they delivered.
I mean, they've cut prices, right? So I'm wondering how much of their gross profit is going to be affected by that.
So analysts just have zero tolerances.
Right now, I think they do for Tesla. I think they're like just after it.
Yeah. See, now the one thing I do think Elon's going to come out and say for earnings is we've seen him anytime there's trouble in the economy, he bunkers down. Like you could say he overreacts. I get it. I mean, as a company owner, I would rather him be more cautious like this because he trims all the fat, starts running lean because he knows how close it was to bankruptcy the first time around.
Right.
Doesn't want to go through that again. But when he says that on the phone calls, man, some people really lose their minds like they just have never heard such a thing. Like all they want to hear is stocks go up forever, moon gang, and tendies. Like they might even prefer if you use that vocabulary. Just tendies.
So are you thinking that it's bottomed out? It's going to go back up, or what are you thinking?
If as an earnings trade, I think the risk is to the upside, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think there's more of a chance that surprise is up than down.
Okay.
Because if he does come out, and I don't want anybody just loading up because I said that.
Yeah.
But what surprise would it be if he says, "Well, we're doing this or that, and we're really bunkering down. We're gonna halt the Cybertruck news." Could be. I think stopping any line is gonna have a knee jerk reaction of get the F out. Maybe even algo driven on that point, just picking up keywords. But any recession talk, any bearish stuff, yeah, maybe we sell off. I'm not saying we don't sell off, but just that lightning strike 10% down candle that you can see on earnings sometimes. Like I don't think it pulls a Netflix.
Yeah. Okay.
Comes out and says, we killed it. Everyone bought FSD. We did the deliveries, but everyone decided to buy full self-driving as an add-on. We're going to bring out the Model 2. We finally got that all figured out. He comes out and says something like that. It's going to be the, oh crap, maybe shorts get out, short squeezed. Buyers are going to come in and say, we've let the news persuade us too much. And I'm spelling out a dream world for anybody YOLOing stupid call options. But I think if he were to do something like that, you would see much more movement to the upside than you would the other side going down. Does that make sense? Am I wording it right?
Yeah, no, I get it. Now that's the short-term earnings play. What long-term are you thinking that we continue down, even if there is a short-term upswing, or what are you thinking longer term? And I mean longer term, I'm talking about 6 months.
I do think we mosey on down.
Okay.
So you bought at 155 and 165. I've been selling the 160s for, it seems like an eternity now. I can't remember how many contracts I've sold. I've had 160. I have 160s expiring this Friday, next Friday, and the Friday after that. And I'll own them. But our average is actually, my average is probably better than yours. I was making jokes in the beginning, but how much I collected and the earnings play.
Oh, sure.
That does. And then this week, all likely, and I said this on YouTube earlier during the live stream on the other channel, this week, if we're remotely right here, we're at the money, I'm going to roll at the money and keep it 160. I'm not even going to go out. I'm going to collect a full week of at the money, which is going to bring my average down even further. So I don't mind it. And I fully expect, I'm going to start selling the 140s after that. And as it sits right now, if I had to put my money on there, I think I'm taking assignment at 160 and 140.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're coming down to about that 135 area.
Think so?
Yeah. I think we'll touch that before we turn around. That's just a guess, of course, but that's just
throwing it at the wall, see if it sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think we would go just past this. I just see a bear trap right here. Get everybody excited, thinking this level broke.
Yep.
And then just send it on them.
Yeah. And so the reason why I don't, well, one, I don't have enough to do a full put on Tesla right now.
Yeah.
So I do want to acquire shares, and what I do, part of the reason why I do buy in increments the way I do, is so that I'm in because I want to be in.
Yeah.
Just in case it does turn around. Well, what if it didn't reach that 155 area? At least I bought some at 165.
Yeah.
If it comes down, I've weighted my average down each time it comes lower. So I don't go all in at one price, right? And that's kind of how I do things, just so I at least I'm in the stock that I want to be in, while I have a plan to lower my price as it drops. So that's kind of the way I do my investing.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this is gonna sound bad. That's what gets a lot of people in trouble. You gotta hear the next part. You gotta hear it all out, I guess,
right?
Because it's a lot easier to buy when it's red. A lot harder to buy when it's green. And then like you buy now, you feel comfortable getting in, but how much harder is it to buy when it's turning around and going for it? I think a lot of people, not that I would encourage, I encourage having a plan, full stop, just like you have. No picking at that. The people that just buy because it's just going down, they have to they don't have a plan, or they wait. They keep thinking it's gonna get cheaper. They're gonna wait. They're gonna get the most impressive like knee jerk reaction, rip your face off rally, where you will get a lot of your gains right up front. They're gonna miss it. They're gonna assume it's gonna come back down. They're gonna mix that next pullback to think, no, it's coming back even lower. They're gonna miss that one. It's gonna shoot up again, and by the time they do get in, it'll be 180. It'll be above $200.
Yeah.
And we're having a plan like yours. You still get to sleep at night. Everything's good. You have your targets, and why even have those targets if you didn't think it was going to get there?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and you never know. Like you don't know if it will. You're hoping it will, but that's what my plan calls for that, right? I don't go all in all at once, and I don't go in heavy at the top. incrementally go in more as it goes down.
Yeah. So what if it turns on you? What if it turns right now? This is the absolute bottom for Tesla. Do you buy 2, 1 again at your price targets?
As long as I'm DCAing in, yeah, yeah. So I'll continue to do that.
Nice.
And because ultimately it's the amount of shares for me. I mean,
Mhm.
yes, I said this before. I want to get my price as low as possible,
Right.
but
Everyone wants a good deal.
you're not going to get rich buying 1 or 2 shares. How you do it is having hundreds, thousands of shares. So you have to get your share count up, and that's the point.
Yeah. Like when I got my first hundreds of thousands of shares of Tesla, it was, you know, just an eye opener, you know? I was like, okay, now I can finally get rich. I got 300,000 shares of Tesla.
Yeah,
I sold Kathy some because she needed
and
to borrow
I
for a
didn't
little
mean hundreds of thousands. I meant hundreds or thousands.
bit. Oh, you're one of those broke people. Okay.
I'm not.
I
You
meant
know,
hundreds of thousands.
I'm,
You know.
I'm more of a regular Joe than you are. Let's put it that way.
Well, sometimes Citadel needs some help, so I gotta like let them borrow my shares for a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so as far as news goes, laid off some employees, which was weird because I don't know I can't remember the last time I've heard layoff news and the stock was red. Usually that's green. So
Yeah.
they're just in ascendant mode because they're trimming the fat. That was just again, I get one more thing I've already said. I guess I'm repeating myself. I just think the sell off we've seen, everybody that's getting out, kind of getting out, I think. I don't know. I guess that's probably more of a sales pitch for there's going to be some YOLO where it's like he's right. I'm going to buy the 225 call options expiring that Friday and earnings is on Thursday. I can see it now. I'm just fueling that.
Yeah,
But
that would not be me.
yeah. But I will say that's why I had no problem. I guess no problem. I welcomed it. Usually earnings, there's a full disclaimer about how it's gambling and all that, but I actually liked it. The Vega crush on earnings for me is going to be payday for the Tesla puts that I sold.
Yeah.
So full send, Vega can just rip that thing up. I'm going to take somebody's money because I'm going to own the shares regardless. I'm just going to own it a whole lot cheaper. So this
Yeah.
is one thing I welcome. And outside of the outliers, the Tesla delivery or the deliveries is the move, and the earnings is mostly a dud. You know, a
Yeah.
probably 90% chance it's a dud, 5% chance we surprise either direction.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
without dragging it on, what do you got? Anything else?
On Tesla, no. Again, the thesis for me hasn't changed. In fact, it's just getting stronger. So it's still in my top 5. Uh, yeah, that's all I
What
got
would it
for
take to get your top one? I mean, well, second place below Meta.
you. Tesla right now is was it 2 or 3? I can't remember. It might be 2.
Oh, so
But
it's already there.
I
Can't go any
think
higher.
I think Google might overtake Tesla.
I don't know. I think it's a race. I've seen a bunch of thumbnails, I will say, of Optimus. So we might have another video coming up. I haven't sent you any because I was like, I don't know. I don't want to get excited. But I saw a couple of them. I was like, okay, maybe I need to dive in. I don't know if there's another update on it. But,
I haven't seen anything.
well, it's been about 90 days. So,
Yeah, we're due.
yeah, we are due. So I'm sure this one's going to have laser vision or something ridiculous at the rate they are improving. This
Yeah.
thing will probably fly like an Iron Man suit.
One of these days
Um,
here.
all right, let's do a question for the chat.
Okay.
When do you think the first Optimus bot is sold? You can just give me the month on this one. I'm going to come back to this. I'm writing all these down. There will be a giveaway on this one. If you guess the right month and year, give me 4 numbers. And sold to another company. Should we do sold to another company or deployed in a Tesla factory?
Oof. Let's say sold to another company.
Okay. First one actually sold, because that's going to be a hard one to tell if it's actually just wandering around the factory or building the Model 3 or something like that.
Right. Yeah. If it's internal to Tesla, that's not a good test.
Okay.
A good test is if it's sold to someone and they've put it in production.
What's your guess? I'm thinking December.
I'm thinking March 2025.
Yeah, you've always been a slow one. I'm thinking November now. So, okay, I'm throwing it out there. My guess is December. It's Christmas. Christmas for somebody.
Yeah, okay. I'll stick with March.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Make sure you guys answer that in the comments. And then we'll see you guys all in the next one. Have a good one.
See ya.